we all are very conditioned to believe Alabama already has a victory no matter who they're playing.
And we watched them play shitty teams, and we're like, oh, whoa, whoa, look at that. They scored 40 points at halftime, and Auburn's had a lot tougher schedule. I just don't see it, man.
All season, this has been a different Alabama team that we've been conditioned to seeing for many years. And I think the Tua injury brings them down another notch. And I think it makes them very human. It would just be very storybook ending for LSU to put them in the grave and then Auburn put the nail in the coffin. It would be very interesting to see what happens there. I do agree with you, though. I think Bo Nix has regressed as the season goes. I think he started off pretty hot against Oregon.
Because defenses didn't have any film and didn't know what he was going to do. And once they realized he could only do like 1.5 things decent, Jake Fromm throws outside the numbers incredibly,
Thanks,
Mike.
Gary. Say something.
Say something.
Inside joke there. I know it's tough. We have these inside jokes that happen.
If anyone watched that Georgia game, they probably heard Gary bark say something as we went back to commercial break. And then Fromm stinks. Fromm stinks, okay? He is not very good, but he throws a really nice back shoulder fade for like a 25-yard pass, and he did it like 3 times, and every time Gary's just like, Jake Fromm throws outside the numbers better than anyone, and then any other throw, you couldn't say shit because it's just not good, and the receivers don't catch the ball
He
either.
also said Texas A&M throws between the hashes better than anybody.
Better than anyone.
I remember being like, what?
Say something.
Yeah,
and he had to apologize. 2019 got Gary too. He had to apologize for being completely just oblivious to this poor girl, just almost like getting killed.
Gary finally got me too'd.
Yes,
so
not good enough. We should have really like tried to take the Twitter charge for that one. At least get him suspended.
Yeah,
I told you we got to bring Vern back for the Iron Bowl. It's like they bring him back to sit on the 16th hole at Augusta and call the par 3. He should have a permanent chair till he's dead for the Iron Bowl.
Yeah, no, I think he's better than Gary. We could have struck up a crazy protest, much like Harvard and Yale.
Incredible.
These are the smartest people in our generation that were protesting climate injustice.
These are the people that are going to drop out of college and start the companies that like take us all down.
Yeah, it's I don't know.
An hour and 7 minutes. The best thing about it is it was like a 50-43 game overtime, like absolutely electric. 4 people in the world saw it. Right. I mean, and no one watched it. I would pay you $20 if you could tell me what channel that game was on.
Unbelievable. Just a waste
I don't have
of
any
their
money.
time.
Don't guess. Like I'm out of money this week.
After this weekend.
Yeah, I'm out.
Are you gonna get it back?
Oh yeah, no,
Sunday football?
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. Today is the day we get it back. Don't kid yourself.
Gotcha. Get back Sunday.
Can't get it back if you stay home.
Well, Taking Back Sunday.
Is that a band?
Like, that's a band.
Yeah,
I think that was a band.
Taking Back Glory. Newfound. All right, we'll
I think
that
Mac
one out.
Jones likes Taking Back Sunday.
Yeah.
Or Kellen Mond.
Kellen Mond's a Taking Back. Yeah.
It's like a Jimbo thing. How
Where
about
do
Jimbo's
we go
watch?
from here?
That's blank.
Is he a mafioso?
With that amount of money to not do shit with it, I'd buy a watch.
Like incredible. How much does that watch cost? More than 40 grand?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably got a diamond in it or something.
And he wears it on the sideline.
It's incredible. And it's kind of loose fitting like a mob boss. Like we don't get the chains out. That's for punks. Right. That's for the chum.
Let's talk a little bit. We
have gone everywhere.
That's all right.
Just serpentine through the SEC.
Yeah, let's serpentine back to the Arkansas game. Let's give some player of the games, and then we can circle back to talking some more college football. I mean, I think we're both going to be...
Players of the game, sponsored by LSU Football Report, the #1 guy. Check him out. If you don't have time to sift through all the bullshit and like 8,000 tweets and stories and dance gifs and everything in between, LSU Football Report does a great job of getting everything together for you. Find him, follow him on Twitter at LSU Football Report. Friend of the program, a consummate pro.
Yeah. Great plug. LSUFootballReport.com.
I'm feeling it today, man. I was a little salty about the refs like sprinting to stop the end zone dances and shit. I can't take it.
Somebody tweeted, it kind of blew up a little bit, almost like the Harvard and Yale situation. Like that ref grabbed his arm like a police officer, like a cop. Like, it's like, guys, come on, can we not get political about it? Like it's an asshole ref. It is what it is.
The old white man bringing them down, eh?
And Pruitt.
I just can't stand it. It's like these kids don't make money, like anything.
Yeah,
football's supposed to be fun, and the refs show urgency more to like break up an end zone dance fight more than like a principal in high school breaking up a fight, just sprinting.
Well, what is the exact rule there? Is it excessive celebration?
Yeah,
Can't you do some form of like a quick second of like
I think you're like not supposed to spike the ball because that's mean to the ball.
Right. You can give a hoorah though.
Yeah, it's just like football's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be hard to score. LSU, it's not that hard to score, but you should be able to celebrate with your guys. It's insane.
Ed has developed an identity or a culture of this program of. I'm not gonna. They're not undisciplined because they are a very disciplined program.
Play fast, play fun. It's Pete Carroll.
It's a controlled chaos, I guess you could say. Not chaos. It's like we're so proficient and perfect at everything we do on the field that
you got to let the boys.
If we're gonna dance
play
and get wild, or if we're gonna warm up with our shirts off, if we're gonna drink the sidelines water from the other team. You're allowed to kind of get away with that for a little bit.
As long as you keep winning.
Prove it on the field, and that's what we've done. How many penalties do we have?
Not many.
Not many.
And not many procedural penalties. I mean, they called that one where someone was like covered up the receiver last week. And you're just like, man, I forgot that was even a penalty because it's been so long since we've had something like that.
I think Ed has instilled the perfect culture there where you can't be mad at these kids for dancing in the end zone. You can't be mad at them for warming up with their shirts off and really embracing what makes them unique. This is how they want to get hyped. This is how they want to celebrate. Allow them to do that. Yeah. They're not ripping helmets off and punching people on the field. They're not acting wild during the game.
And we're not really like talking a ton of shit to the other team. They're celebrating like with their teammates.
These guys are breaking records and making their actions speak louder than their words. And that's why I think if you have a record breaker like Jamar Chase or like Justin Jefferson.
Thad Moss, we got to give him a record-breaking shout-out.
Record-breaking, most receiving catches in a season by
36. I'm pretty sure that would have been like 20 shy of like the leader last year for receptions. I think Jefferson had like 54 last year.
Yeah, but pretty stupid by the ref to kind of go out of his way to make a statement. But
hey, guy, hey,
stop! And he grabs him like, "Stop it, please!
That's enough. Get back to your sideline."
They got to make it very, very aware. Make everybody very aware that there's multiple offenders here. Yeah. 22, 1, 2. Yeah, it's like.
But it does show it, man. These kids have fun. They play for their teammates. They'll run through a brick wall, run through a burning building for Joe Burrow. And that's what it is. If that's what it costs, if that costs us a 15-yard penalty here or there, shit, we'll probably give up points on defense anyway. I don't care.
It's a more controlled Miami of the 80s.
Yes.
It's a USC of the early 2000s. It's that mindset where we're not going to be drill sergeants out here.
We're just getting started.
Yeah,
that's
we're
the
just
wild
getting started.
thing.
We're having fun. And like we talked about, Ed, he caught lightning in a bottle with Joe Burrow and Joe Brady. And you give Ed Orgeron, somebody that's so just, you want to talk about a chip on a shoulder. You give someone like that type of heavy of a weight on his shoulder, you give him an opportunity like this with this type of program, it's just the beginning. It's lights out. You're not going to be able to stop this train once it gets moving. He wasn't the type of coach that can come in and do it on his own. He had to get lucky at some point, and
not
he did it.
Not many are, man.
No.
Not many are. I mean, you can go back. Someone did a great job of finding all these old threads about like how we're so stupid, and Herman and Chad Morris. At least Arkansas hired someone who can coach. It was really fun to read. And look, I mean, I guess those arguments were somewhat valid. It just so happens that everything fell into place, and there's no stopping this train now, man. He has job security like no one has in a while.
He's about to make another $2 million if he wins out the next 4 games.
Yeah, recruiting is just getting started. You let this guy recruit with a head of steam, being the coolest and the best team in the country. All these D-line guys going to Auburn and Georgia, that shit's done. Yeah. We're taking who we want. Sadly, some kids are getting processed and having to look elsewhere, but
that's the name of the game.
That's the name of the game. When you're the #1 team, everybody wants to come, and they're just going to keep feeding into that culture. Miles Brennan's the truth. I say it here now. We'll be better than Burrow.
Stop. Well, we'll see in the spring game, but. Yeah, man, I think we have a lot of momentum moving forward, and Ed Orgeron's the type of coach that the minute he caught that lightning like we talked about and that momentum, it's so hard to slow that type of train down because he's such a motivated guy, and that's what his whole thing is motivation. Yep. So once you get momentum behind that motivation, it's lights out, it's over. Let's go back to players of the game.
Everyone's bought in. Yeah, we gotta go back.
Got off train.
Gotta go back.
But Brett and I, right? I think we both have the same players of the game. We're going to go Clyde on offense and Jacoby Stevens on defense.
I mean, look, 6 carries, 188 yards. I should have looked it up what Booga did against Ole Miss, or was it Geis, one of them, because it was something like that. Yeah, it was like 10 for like 240 or something. That's insane. 6 for 188. That's 31 yards a clip. And then you got Emory 2 for 42, Burrow 4 for 24. And Clyde had something like, how many catches did Clyde have?
Oh yeah, it was the whole first
seven
half.
for 65.
Yeah. Pretty phenomenal game by Clyde. You know, two fathers.
Two fathers.
That was a really odd tweet.
It was.
The title of it, but the video itself, it's like, oh, this is what they mean.
Yeah, I instantly tweeted it to you and just went with the Seinfeld line, my father's gay.
It's like, no, that's not what they're being.
That's not the point. It was a
funny,
cool video,
but
it was just kind of a funny headline.
It was a funny headline, but when you actually dig into the story and see exactly what Clyde's gone through, and just the way that family is held together and gone through that, and have a kid like Clyde go through adversity, kind of push the doubters aside, and then have the family come back together and watch this phenomenal season, not only by LSU, but by a guy like Clyde. It's really awesome to see. So cool story that they put out about him.
Yeah.
He's getting better and better every single game. I remember looking.
Does he deserve to be in New York? I mean, I think that's like a legitimate question right now.
And more Chase.
And Chase.
Chase is a Blitnikoff easily. I mean, like, dude.
Yeah.
I understand Jerry Jeudy's a great wide receiver, and you know, Devontae Smith and everything at Alabama, but you got to back off and say, wait a minute, you know, they lost their quarterback. They're not putting up the amount of numbers that we are. Look at what's happening here in Baton Rouge. You have to give these guys the awards that they deserve this season. Like we said, we don't know if this is ever going to stop, but we also don't know if we're ever going to see these type of record-breaking numbers ever again. Clyde absolutely deserves some form of recognition, whether that's I don't know if it's the Doak Walker or whatever the running back award is, whatever it may be. He has absolutely just hammered his way into all of that. You look back at when we were growing up, watching games like LeBrandon Tofield, and Ali Broussard, and all these guys that just kind of had these amazing games where it just kind of stick in your head. I'll always remember Ali Broussard just kind of running all over teams. That one season that he went off.
Yeah, the bowling ball.
Yeah, you look at what Clyde's doing right now. He is making so many memories and impressions on people that we're going to think back for a very long time. It's not just Fournette. It's not just guys. You're going to think back about Clyde Edwards-Helaire for a very long time.
Well, and it's not like he only does this against the Arkansas, the shitty teams, the Vanderbilts. I mean, he had a great game against Bama, a great game against Florida, a great game against Auburn. He's
and then
doing
last
it
year
against the best,
Georgia.
Yeah, he's
he
doing
had
it
a bunch
against
of big
the
runs.
best defenses that they have in the SEC. It's not like he's just like cleaning up.
No, he's playing on another level right now. People cannot wrap him up. They cannot tackle him. He's not a one and done. You don't hit him and he goes down. No. His vision, his acceleration, his quickness, they seem to elevate every single game. And I think it's a testament. I'm going to go back to Joe Burrow here, being the Heisman Trophy winner in our opinion. Leadership is contagious. That level of play is contagious. Whenever you have a leader of your football team go out and play the way he does, everybody elevates their gameplay and they play to their potential. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, people talked about it at practice. They're like, man, we can't stop this guy. And then you'd see him in the beginning of the year and like, what are they really seeing out of Clyde? Whatever. Now you know. Now you're seeing that these guys play to their potential now because they have a leader in Joe Burrow. They believe in the system. They believe in their offense. They believe in their team.
And at the same time, I mean, you're going into this Arkansas game, a guy like Burrow could be like, oh, maybe I should check to a slant or do something because I want the touchdowns. No, he's completely fine, happy, loves it that Clyde is the guy who gets 3 touchdowns and Emory catches 1. Emory, I guess, was Brennan. Was it?
Whenever he dropped the pass.
No, I'm just saying Emory's touchdown. That was Brennan handoff.
Brennan handoff.
It was so beautiful handoff. It's incredible. But, you know, it's like obviously 327 and 3 touchdowns. Like a great day for Burrow, but this could have easily been a 5-6 touchdown game for him.
Yeah, it's so weird sitting back as an LSU fan and kind of being like, awesome job, Clyde. Being like, damn, I kind of want to Burrow.
Yeah, a couple times Clyde ran in. I'm like, oh, come on, give me one more Burrow. Give me like a Terrace Marshall. Let's bump. I would love to have all 3 receivers have broken the single season touchdown record.
Yeah, Terrace Marshall, just a quiet guy back there that is very sturdy, very sure-handed. The minute you shut one of those guys down, guess what? Marshall's going to be wide open for another big play. So just pick your poison in this offense. That's why going forward, I don't look. Georgia is probably the best defense we're going to see next. Okay, because A&M's defense is not on that caliber. They're better than Arkansas's, but not on the caliber of what Georgia's is. And then after that, I think Clemson is going to be a very good defense against us. Ohio State's defense, I think we are going to light that defense up. There is no defense that I'm worried about. No. I'm just saying who's gonna stop us on a couple third downs is basically all it comes down to. Are we going to score points? I think we can score at least 30 points on every single team we have left on the schedule, and that includes the national championship.
Yeah, 30 seems shy. Like exactly 34 touchdowns. I'm just like, yeah, we'll have that at halftime.
Yeah. And it's not flukes. It's not gimmicks. It's not just, like, I don't know, Lamar Jackson will get out the pocket and sprint up the sideline, or, Tua will throw a bomb to a wide open Judy, or it's not flukish. Yeah. It is systematic. It's whatever is open, our guys are going to make a play, and you're going to pay for it.
And look, I think McElroy did a good job on the call, kind of pointing out a few times how quickly Burrow recognized what defense they were in, and it's just like, oh yeah, Thad Moss is going to be wide open in this zone, and drops it in there. Over the middle, guys like Jefferson. I mean, it's just everyone's on the same page. They know what they're doing. Burrow knows what's happening before the ball's ever snapped. And it's just easy. It's just easy. We haven't seen an offense at LSU like ever. Even in 2011, it was just like, okay, a couple run, 3 yards, 2 yards. Oh yeah, there's a 50-yard run.
It's amazing. It's the funnest season to watch as far as excitement goes ever.
Yeah.
I mean,
everybody eats. What Joe Brady told us, everybody eats, is absolutely true. I mean, the stats, if you compare them to last year, it's just night and day. Yeah. We're Oklahoma.
Yeah.
With more athletes on defense, player of the game on defense. It's the same guy.
Jacoby Stevens, lights out. I mean, here's a guy that we talked about before we struck up the mics. He needs to be a linebacker. Yep. He needs to be close to the line of scrimmage. I feel like anytime he's playing close in the box, he's either making a tackle in the backfield or he's batting a ball down.
Yep.
I mean, every single time. Even when he's snuck up in the box, he's making a crazy interception.
Batted the ball down when the quarterback tries to get rid of it.
He's all over the field. He is finally, I say finally, he's been making plays all season. Yeah. He started on the back half of last season, but he's finally come into that realm of he is the best player on our defense right now.
Right now, I agree. I think he has to start playing at the line more. He's a fine safety. He can get beat. He can make some plays. But when he's up at the line of scrimmage, it's like a different player. It's like we have someone who, almost like, you thought Chase on. Oh, you got to figure out him on every play. You got to be able to block him. If Stevens is at the line, he's one of those guys that it's like you cannot let this guy come free. You're going to have to put your running back on him or something. And I think Mo Hampton. I think Mo Hampton, it's hard to see. It's Arkansas didn't really do a ton. You have to find someone like that, I think, to put in the back end, whether it's Monroe, the man missing in action, Eric Monroe.
Who knows what the hell that's about?
Hampton, Lewis. I don't care who it is, but I feel like it's just this defense is so much better when Steve.